Is the Democratic Party losing ground with millennials? A new poll by Reuters and Ipsos finds enthusiasm for the Dems waning among millennials. An online survey of more than 16,000 registered voters aged 18 to 34 shows their support for Democrats slipped by about 9 percentage points to 46%. And although nearly 2 of 3 young voters say they don't like the president, their distaste did not extend to all Republicans.
The sticking point here was the economy and taxes. And of course, all this comes as Democratic candidates head into the crucial midterm congressional elections. Lindsay McPherson, House leadership reporter at Roll Call, and Cliff Young, lead pollster for Thomson Reuters, joins us. Thanks, guys, for joining us.
It's great to be here.
Cliff, let me start with you. I mean, it was no surprise in the last election. We saw a lot of those millennials. They were not supporters of Hillary Clinton. Many of them jumped behind Bernie Sanders. So is this slip here? Is this a surprise?
No, we expect this, actually. And so, you know, the key challenge of the Democrats this midterm election is to energize this millennial base. Indeed, they have a lead between 20 and 28%, depending on how you ask the question and when you ask the question. So the key for the Democrats is, how do you energize this base? How do you talk to the issues that are important to them? That will be the key.
Lindsay, there's always this perception that young voters are automatically going to vote Democrat, and there seems to be maybe a taking advantage of that fact by some Democrats where they take it for granted. I think we learned last time around there's nothing taken for granted when it comes to politics these days.
That's true, but one of the more interesting aspects of this poll, as I read it, was that the disenthusiasm among Democrats wasn't necessarily translating toward the Republicans. Those some said they were undecided, would vote for a third-party candidate, or would just stay home. And that doesn't mean not voting for the Democrats doesn't mean it will automatically help Republicans.
Right.
Cliff, as you guys did this poll, if you look into this poll, does it explain why or the reasoning behind this?
Well, I think that Lindsay hit it right on the head. I mean, what we're really seeing among millennials is a lack of enthusiasm, a lack of energy. And indeed, we know in general elections, there's higher turnout, more people show up, especially young people. It's the midterm elections which are tricky for Democrats, who typically cater to a younger base, typically cater to a less affluent base. They don't show up as much. So once again, it's about energy, it's about enthusiasm. The key for Democrats will be, how do you drive this young voting bloc to the polls? Because if they show up, they typically vote Democrat.
Bernie Sanders got young voters excited by talking about the whole idea of free college tuition, among other things. What are the topics, the issues that young voters would respond to for either party right now? What are they looking for?
One of the big issues that the Democrats have been pushing this cycle is gun control. In the wake of the Parkland shooting, they've seen a lot of enthusiasm for young high school into voting age, college age kids who would want to go out and vote on this issue specifically, and Democrats are trying to drive that issue.
Yeah, well, and I would just add to that, generally speaking, millennials right now, there's a super majority, 70–75%, that believe that the system is broken, a disbelief in traditional parties and politicians. That's why Bernie Sanders was interesting, and to the extent that you can cater to that sort of message or that sort of feeling is important. But more specifically, it's about single voter issues, it's about gun control, it's about paying for college, it's about these specific things that really affect this subgroup. The question, once again, can Democrats reach out to them, energize them, and get them to the polls?
We will see as we start to head into these midterms. Thank you so much. Cliff Young, Lindsay McPherson, thanks for coming in tonight.
Thanks,
guys.